I was concentrating so hard on the beep, beep, beep of the metal detector probing the ocean bed beneath me that I didn't notice the shark. The little green light in the middle of the detector's circular head winked in time with the beeping which, underwater, sounded more like blip, blip, blip. I floated above it, breathing slowly. The mouthpiece tasted rubbery. Silver bubbles swam lazily above me in gentle bursts. If the detector sniffed out metal, a bottle top, the tag of a broken zip, or an old coin, say, the blips would come closer together and the winking would go mental. Though I'd only turned up rubbish all morning, the idea that Amelia or Xander, both of whom were in the water somewhere nearby conducting their own searches, or I might actually find what we were looking for was compelling. Blip, blip, blip. Sand puffed up around the roving detector's head as I swung it gently from side to side. Blip, 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 blip. I'd finned my way to the edge of a patch of seagrass and bobbed there for a moment, watching the green tips of the grass swaying in the current. A few meters beyond this underwater lawn, the detector picked up a metallic scent of some sort. I rooted about in a circle, sending up another billowing cloud of sand. This machine was set to search a diameter of about 50 centimeters. When the blip-blipping became a constant whine, I switched to the smaller wand dangling from a lanyard clipped to my buoyancy control device. It searched with a more focused eye. As it homed in, the clicking sped up. Rather than beeping, this one clicked. It sounded a bit like an insistent dolphin. My fingers, magnified by the glass of my mask, sifted the sand carefully. Before I even saw it, they had closed around something small with a hole in its middle. I realized that, breaking the first rule of scuba diving, I was holding my breath. Lifting the item to inspect it, I heard the rush of bubbles as I let the breath go. Not a wedding ring, as I'd hoped it might be, but the ring pull of a drinks can. Rather than chuck litter back into the Indian Ocean, I slid it into my mesh bag and looked up to see where Amelia had got to. And that's when I saw the shark. Not 30 meters away, the colour and length of a torpedo gliding towards me. The in and out of my breathing was suddenly very loud indeed, the column of bubbles above me thickening to a constant mass. The shark, drifting my way, looked utterly at ease, comically chilled in fact. Though I'd been diving a lot over the last few days, enough to get very comfortable underwater again, I suddenly felt as out of place as a football boot in a fridge. The shark slipped closer. With an almost imperceptible flick of its tail, it veered to my left, but it didn't get any further away. It was circling me. The unblinking dot of its near-side eye took me in. "What on earth are you doing down here?" it seemed to say. Fair question. What was I doing there? There being 10 meters underwater, weighed down with metal-detecting kit just off the coast of Zanzibar. Searching for treasure, obviously. It was all Xander's fault. When he heard Mum was planning a trip to Zanzibar to help put what happened in the Congo behind us, as if anything ever could, he sent me a link to a company selling underwater metal detectors, telling me I should buy one. I sent him one word back. Why? In response, he sent me another link to, of all things, a wedding planner's website. It was full of pictures of beaming brides dressed up like meringues, cutting pointlessly elaborate cakes, while men wearing cheesy grins and shiny suits tried to look useful by leaning on the same knife. None the wiser, I resent Xander the same one-word question. Eventually, he picked up the phone to explain. Zanzibar, with its white beaches, turquoise sea, cloudless skies and jaunty palm trees, is one of the most popular high-end honeymoon spots on Earth. Newlyweds pitch up there week in, week out to celebrate getting hitched. Most of them jump in the sea at some point wearing nothing but their swimming costumes, sun lotion, and their brand new wedding rings. Though the sea there is relatively warm, it's still sea, meaning the water is cold enough to cool you down. Cool anything. and it will shrink a bit.